Hello. Well, I am back here, and uh, I hope you could hear that. Type in the text box if you're there, if you could hear that music, because I couldn't tell if you could hear the music or not. Um, uh, but I hope you could. I'm working on making some timer things for getting this started so I can start bringing some people in before we get started. Steve is here with me again, and we had some technical difficulty on the other end getting our other partner, Andrea, in. She is on the phone. Are you there, Andrea?
I am here.
Okay, well, we can at least hear her. She is in Ohio. She is at uh, uh, Ohio, and they just recently moved to Ohio from Nevada back in March of last year. I mean, of this year.
Yes,
We're
that's
not that
fine.
far.
No.
We're not that far into in the next year, but she moved to Ohio in March, and she is also our one of our founding members. She's on our board, and she is a really amazing person, friend. She's my best friend. I forgive her because she's a freaking Marine, but um, sorry she
But you gotta love me.
I love you anyway, despite the fact that and that's when those two gang up on me, like whatever. And her partner is Air Force, so I can't really go like, "Come on, Darren, come back me up." It's like that's like asking a cat to back up a dog in a dog fight. So I'm kind of screwed when they try to double team me there with the Marine thing. But whatever, I forgive you both. The thing is, this is why it's okay, because I understand that it takes a special person to be able to fit your brain into a jar. Yeah,
Ha 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 ha.
yeah, it's your head, but what's in your head is your brain. And I'm sorry that my brain is too big to fit in a jar.
Yeah, we've gone through that before.
we've had that banter a time or two.
Just a time or two.
I'm going to move the mic right in front of me, so you can have some mic usage too. Otherwise, I'm just going to hog the mic the whole night. It's all mine. It's all mine. It's my mic. It's not your mic. It's my mic. Anyway, I'll share with you. Hello, I am live. It is a couple minutes after 12. Why are you?
Because I'm trying to get to where we
Okay,
can get
can
to
you
the-
stop? What are you doing? I'm sorry. Don't be just airing stuff that's on here because
not trying to go and get to where we can get to her.
Honey, we don't. That's not where I wanted her picture. What do you? What?
Hello.
I am live. It is. See, because this stuff just starts playing.
Because you have so many things open.
I always have so many things open.
Way too many things.
But whatever. I do. I always have so much stuff. I will ask my husband for help, and I'll be like, "Hey, can you come over here and help me with the computer?" And he opens it, and he's like, "Oh my god,
like,
why do you have all this crap open?" I'm like, "Because I'm doing that here, and I'm doing that here, and I'm doing that over here. So I have to have all this stuff." He's like, "Yo, you're crazy." And then he probably calls Andrea a bitch.
Well, I, you know what? I don't think I've ever heard Steve bitch about anything, to be honest with you.
That's true. He probably just goes, "I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna go to bed now."
Just walk away.
So
just go to her page. Just go to her page and just.
I'm working on that. I'm getting to that. It's over where? I don't see.
Just go over there.
That's
just
okay.
Put a name.
Jeez. You're talking.
Sometimes.
You're talking like Biden now.
Well, you're acting like him, so
that's worse. That's because this is lagging a little bit somehow. See, it's not doing it.
Yeah,
It's-
it did it right there.
Okay.
No, not that one. We'll find another one.
Why? What's wrong? I love that picture. That's my favorite picture. Although it's really small.
Yeah.
It's really small. Okay, so anyway, Andrea, so first of all, tell the viewers, listeners, whatever, a little bit about yourself.
I am originally from Idaho.
Go Idaho!
Like,
Way to go.
like you said, I now live in a small town in Ohio, which I love. I'm glad to be back in a small town. I cannot wait to get to Alabama and to pursue this great journey and to finally fulfill our dreams and be able to do what we've talked about doing for the past few years and to be right next to you guys to be able to see this come through. I'm so excited to be able to do this. I know that this is your passion, Tori, but the minute you started explaining it to me, I just could not help but be overjoyed and have my heart full and just want to jump on board and join you 100%. I am a huge supporter of helping Marines out, or actually, let me rephrase that, helping veterans out, helping first responders out. My family is a family full of veterans, everything from Army to Marines to all the way back to Air Force to pilots to grunts to you name it. My MOS was 3043, which is pretty much supply. It's like administrations and operations and, girl work in the Marine Corps. You could say that I can't bake a batch of cookies, but I can take apart a gun and put it back together in 2 minutes. I'm just very, very excited to be able to do this. I have a passion for helping people. I'm like a nurturer, and I want to help people to make themselves better, make their lives better, make their world better. And I have a very, very strong belief that I think that animals can do that. And this dream of Tori's is giving me the opportunity to bring animals into it and to prove that and to help with therapy animals, to help with service animals, to train them, to board them, there's just going to be so many aspects of the animal side of it. And I am so excited and I cannot wait to do this.
Well, so a little background with Andrea and so how I even met Andrea in the first place is she was my husband's work wife. They worked together, they spent all their time together, and they traveled together. And honestly, I was a little jealous. I thought, oh, I don't know about this Marine chick traveling with my husband like literally every week. I'm like, I don't know if I like this very much. And what kind of person is she? And she's probably she's probably horrible. She's probably gonna try to steal my man and God knows what else. And he's like, no, she's really great. And, you just have to meet her. And I'm not going to lie. The first time I met her, it just amplified how I felt. Because the first time I met her, I was literally taking the two of them to the airport to fly away. And we stopped and had breakfast at Denny's. Do you remember that, Andrea?
I do.
We stopped
at Zero Dark 30.
Yep, at Dark 30, we stopped to have breakfast at Denny's. And I'll be damned if I'm sitting across the table and I've never met her before, and this bitch reached right off across the table and takes food off my own husband's plate right in front of me. I'm like, man, that's got some gall. I was like, I cannot believe you just fucking did that. Do you not see me? I'm right here. I'm right here, and you just took food off my husband's plate. Like, what do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I don't. What? I was just like, I think the conversation I had with Steve that night is, I said, I don't trust that. How do you take food off my husband's plate when I'm sitting right there? And he goes, well, that would probably tell you she's got nothing to hide. And I was like, well, I didn't say you got anything to hide. I know you wouldn't take me to breakfast with somebody that you were going to, do something wrong with. But what I'm saying is that took a lot of gall. And I said, I don't know about that. And he goes, yeah, let's just give her a chance to get to actually know her. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to just pretend that didn't happen. And I'm going to try to just give her the benefit of the doubt and stop. Don't take my mouse away. He's trying to take my mouse away. Don't take my mouse away. So I decided, okay, I'm going to ignore that. And then you invited us over to eat. And no, actually, we had to go to a funeral. And then we went to eat after the funeral. And you and I had like all the same shit. We just talked all the same. We had the same smack, and we just did all the same stuff. And I was like, now I know why he's your work husband. And you were like, what? I said, well, and I told you that story about Denny's. I said, man, I didn't trust you. I didn't like you. I was like, I can't believe this bitch just reached across the table and took food off my husband's plate right in front of me. And she's like, oh, well, next time I'll take it off your plate. And that was her response. Instead of getting offended or getting mad back, she was just like, well, next time I'll just take it off your plate too. And I was like, oh, and she did. The next time we went I kid you not, the next time we went out to eat, she reached across the plate and took food off my plate and food off his plate. And she's like, see, now I take food off anybody. If I see it and you're like, oh, are you eating that? Can I have that? I'll take that. And from then on, it was nothing but absolute friendship. And I got to really know her deep down, and she is the person who will literally take her the saying is, take her shirt off your back to help a friend, or she'll take her bra off if that's what you needed to get help. She so wait till we go to New Orleans. It's gonna be a blast. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna start a thing when we go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, calling it titties for vets. You want to see titties, you've got to put money in the jar for the vets.
We can wear the little pasties, you can wear army ones, I'll wear corps ones.
There you go. And we'll call it titties for vets.
And we can put them on the boys too.
Yeah, some of these veteran men, I love y'all, but some of you got bigger boobs than me. At this point, we all have to realize we want to still be in the fight sometimes, but that would require us to button the buttons on the uniform. and I know for myself, yeah, I would need to take the seam out of the middle of the two pant legs and put them together as one pant leg just to get it over one of my legs, probably at this point.
The other problem is you'd have to wear boots.
Oh yeah. They don't allow flip-flops and they don't allow flip-flops in the Army anymore. Because that's about all I wear. Flip-flops and my slippers. I don't really wear much of anything else, but that's one of those things where you have somebody who, and it goes into that judgment thing, because I think we've all been there. Have you been there, Andrea?
I have.
Yeah. And I think we've all been there where we've seen or met somebody or whatever, and we're just like, who is this person? And what in the hell? who do you think you are kind of thing. And you go like, I can't believe you. But how many of us take that and that's it? That's what we run with. We never give them another chance. We don't talk to them again. We just go on that judgment, and we never give them that benefit of the doubt or another shot to find out who they really are. I think we all do that. And I don't think that that's how we should be in nature. We should be open to helping our fellow man. So anyway, that our friendship really grew and grew over time. And because our relationship grew over time, we just got to be really good friends. And I told her about what I wanted to build and what I wanted to make, and she was like, wow, well, this is what I wanted to this is what I wanted to do. And she talked about what she had an idea for an animal side of a nonprofit for animals. And I said, well, we kind of want to have an animal part in it because animals are so healing and so good for therapy. And I said, would you want to, be a part of this with us? And we'll just incorporate, your animal part of it with it. And you can help oversee that. So tell us a little bit of your background with the animals. Like, what's your history with the animals, your horse history and your horse history and your dog history. Because our healer, I'm sorry, scratch that. Our velociraptor is Leroy Jethro Gibbs, my husband's favorite TV show, and his dog. So we named him after Leroy Jethro Gibbs on NCIS. And one of them puppies is going to have to be named Abby Shudo. Has to be named Abby Shudo. And Tony, we have out of those 3 puppies, or 8 puppies, one has to be named Abby Shudo, one has to be named Tony DiNozzo, and the other one has to be named, go ahead, Ziva David. And what's the 4th one? We already got 4 names, so we better at least have 4 puppies. Come on. Proby. We just call him Proby because that's all Tony ever did was call him Proby McGee. So I think that's what we need to do is just have Proby and and just make our own little brood of NCIS service dogs, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be training them. Either they'll be selected. We'll do assessments to find out, right, Andrea? We'll do assessments to see what they're kind of what they would probably do well in, whether it's agility or service or therapy.
Correct. That's the first step, is to find out if they can be actual service, and if they don't have the capability, to be a service, then they can definitely be agility or emotional or therapy.
Right. And then we can just make them, be able to work with the service members that need their help or need them, and then once they're trained, then they will work with the service member to have that training.
Correct.
So tell me a little story. So tell me, I started to have you do it, but tell me your background in the animals. And what I was starting to say is one of our dogs is a healer, and Andrea has had healers her entire life, and currently has how many?
I have 4 healers right now.
4 healers now. That's why I thought it was 4. I was like Haas and Sissy and Cadence and Boomer, which I call Kaboom because they're the parents of Leroy Jethro Gibbs.
Cadence and Kaboom.
Yes.
Cadence and Kaboom.
So I have a red healer, my old man Hoss, and then I have Cadence, who is my chocolate healer, and she is my medical service dog. And then I have Boomer.
Explain a
who
little
is-
bit more about her medical service dog. So explain what you mean by that. Like what does she do as far as medical?
So I have type 1 diabetes, and Cadence alerts me when my sugars are high or when my sugars are low. So, and we are about to be in training for pressure points on my body. So we're going to teach her how to do anxiety and pressure points by laying on me with her elbows. That's a whole new realm for me. This will be a whole new type of learning for me. So I'm pretty excited to learn how to teach dogs how to do that. But what she does is she alerts me when I go too high or when I go too low, and she has to be very well adapted to public, to loud publics, to very busy situations. Like she flew with me from Ohio all the way back to Spokane, Washington, and spent a week with me back in Washington when my grandfather passed, who was a World War vet also. And then she flew back with me, of course, and she did just amazing. So, you know, I am a strong believer in my heart. Healers are by choice for me, but I am not breed. I don't specifically say they just have to be healers. I feel that any breed can be trained, and I'm not going to tell you that you can't train a pit, or you can't train a German Shepherd, or you can't train an Irish Setter. It doesn't matter. If you have the right trainer and the right person, you can train a mutt. It does not matter. I can get a mutt out of the shelter, and I can train a mutt. So it doesn't have to be a specific breed. Just healers are what I like, because I enjoy the fact that they are so smart that they have to be working at all times, and making them a service dog or a therapy dog makes them feel like they're working all the time if they're not actually doing cattle like what they're, born to do. And they're so loyal. They're very, very loyal to their owners, and that's why I like healers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and they are, and we were going to train, we're working on trying to get Jethro just really trained for obedience right now, which is why I call him a velociraptor, because it's like training a velociraptor with ADHD. Okay.
It is.
It is. It's very difficult, and he doesn't. You don't take him for a walk. He takes you for a yank and a pull. And we had him doing really good, but I think what has happened, to digress a little bit, but what has happened is he hit that adolescence in his growing, and he just now learned how to pretty much lift a leg, and he's got to mark everything. And all of this kicked off when Charlie went into heat. When Charlotte went into heat, it kicked off that puberty, so to speak. And oh dear Lord, has it been difficult. And then knocking up our dog too. I'm pretty sure about that, because we tried really hard to keep them apart, and then the first time we're like, well, we got a 50-50 shot. Then it happened again. We're like, well, now we're down to 75-25. And the third time we're like, well, we're screwed. So I told Andrea, hey, guess what? I think I didn't really even tell you. I posted a funny thing, and it said, just circle the date and put puppies and a heart, and posted it on Facebook or something. And my whole point was on that is because this will be pretty close to the same date that Cadence was knocked up by her husband, Boomer, who was almost the exact same age as Jethro, which was about 9-10 months old. Jethro is 9-10 months old. The puppies will be born right about the same time as he was born, which ironically is exactly Jethro was born on Boomer's birthday. So if by chance we have another one, which, I have to say, it kind of goes in line with our whole brand. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
Because their date of birth is December 22.
Yep,
22nd. So, everything we do is about #22. Making sure that people know that we really are trying to eradicate that number 22. So we already have 2 dogs with 22 in their birthday. So we're now shooting for. Can you imagine if we have 8 puppies and they were all born on the date 22 at the ranch? That's pretty.
It'd be fun.
That'd be. How do you cross a female dog's legs? I mean, I learned how you identify if she's pregnant. She will devour your pickles. If you haven't seen that video, go to my TikTok, VICS Ranch TikTok. But if I tried to give her a pickle when I would eat a pickle before, she would put it in her mouth because she wants anything I have. And then as soon as she touches it, she spits it out on the ground like, what the hell are you trying to make me eat this for? Yesterday, she stole a pickle off my plate. And then I let her have a bite. God, you're a dog person. That won't hurt her, will it?
No.
And then I was like, okay, we got to video this. So I took the pickle back and let her have a couple bites, and then she tug a word with me on the piece of pickle, and Steve's with the phone, and then he gets done, and I'm like, he's got this look on his face. I was like, what's wrong? He goes, I forgot to put it in video.
I got a pair of pictures.
I'm like, oh darn it. I guess I'm getting another pickle. And I got another pickle and we redid it. So the funny part is how well, that doesn't work very well. I just put her right over my face. And that doesn't work either. Let's see if we can figure this. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. So to make it look good, not just, I know how to run it. I just don't know how to make it look good. That's the problem. Trying. And I don't know. We put out that we were coming on at noon and 3 and 6. And we did have some people listening and watching at noon and some at 3. And I think we have Sherry's the only one here right now, but hopefully people will watch this again later. So now tell us your background with horses.
Let me see. I was put on a horse for the very first time when I was 6 and a half, and I have been riding horses ever since. I love horses.
And that's a big part of what you're going to incorporate in the animal side of VICS Ranch.
Correct. Now, when a human forms a bond with a horse, it is a very, very strong bond. And I do believe, well, let me rephrase that, not just a horse. When a human forms any type of bond with any type of animal, it can be a dog, it can be a horse, it can be
a tiger,
damn gerbil. Yeah, I don't care. But that is a type of bond that can offer healing that nobody else can offer. And I don't care. Anybody can argue with me on that. And you can have 5 PhDs. I don't really give a shit, but you're not going to win the argument. That's a bond that nobody can replace or nobody can overpower. It's something that you just can't fight.
Well, to interrupt you right there, the reason why that is such a powerful statement is because there are many of these veterans that are homeless, that are homeless on the streets with their dog, and they are offered opportunities offered, we'll come help you, offered, you can come here, but they're given the caveat of you have to get rid of your dog, or you have to give your dog to somebody while you're here, or you have to do something with that. So what's one of the things that we've talked about ourselves, and I'm going to let Andrea answer the question, but what's our answer to that question when we run into somebody who needs help that already has a dog that is needing our help?
Well, they can bring their animal with them. They can bring their dog with them. They can bring their cat with them. They can bring their sidekick with them. That sidekick is who comforts them. That's who they can talk to when there's nobody around. That's who they can say, hey, I had a really bad day, and I'm going to go back to, there's no other feeling in this world than having somebody to be able to talk to who doesn't judge you, who doesn't care if your hair's in a bun and you haven't brushed your teeth and you're wearing sweats and you didn't put deodorant or makeup on. They're going to love you unconditionally. They're going to treat you the same every day.
Do they still love you if you can't TikTok?
Yes, which is why all mine still love me, because I have yet to figure it out. And they don't care if you have $100 in the bank or $5 in the bank, and they're excited to see you when you've been gone 5 minutes and you walk back in the door. That's the type of feeling that VICS Ranch wants to be able to offer all of these vets. We want to be the comfort zone that the animals offer these vets. We want to be that comfort zone. We want to be able to do the exact same thing that the animals do too. We want to be able to make them feel like that. They are allowed to bring their animals with them.
Yeah, when you have a rough day and a dog or a cat or a pet of any sort comes up and puts their arms around you, as you can see, my Velociraptor is giving Daddy some love right now. But the comfort that they give you, and you can tell when they know what's going on, because when you're upset or when you're having a hard time or you're having a moment, they will come and nuzzle you just to show you it's okay. It's okay, mommy. It's okay, daddy, or whatever it is. They are that peace that it gives you, and it tells you something when a veteran or somebody on the streets would rather sleep on a concrete pillow than give up their pet, give up their dog. And I don't call them pets. I know Andrea doesn't. They're not my pet. They are my family. They are my children. They are my babies. I am probably more broke up. Hi, fur babies. I'm probably more broke up by when I see something horrible happening to a pet. Not that I don't care about other people. I care about people when somebody is killed or dies or I feel bad, but I feel the pain I feel when I see somebody cruelly do something to an animal, or when a pet dies. Somebody that posts they lost their companion. I have almost more sympathy for that half the time. The only other one that gets me just as much as pets is when I hear of another veteran that kills themselves. That's the time that it hits me the hardest. And having the animal therapy is going to be a huge part of what we do there, because no matter what they're doing, if they're working on their job skills or they're working on their art training or art skills, and they're having a hard time or they're having a bad time, we're going to have an open door policy. You can walk out of anything you're doing at any time, and they can go down to the stable and go down and say, Andrea, I need to go ride. And Andrea is going to jump into action, make sure a horse is ready. And I mean, we'll probably have radios. So I'll be like, hey, you got somebody, come and get a horse ready. And let them go, just jump on a horse and go for a ride. Get it out of your system. Or I'm going to come over and start working with the dogs. I need to work with the dogs for a while and work on some agility and stuff. So having a place that has 82 acres to be able to work on this, How do you feel about that? What do you think? Well, I'll ask you both questions, but answer the first question, then maybe I have a follow up. But what do you think about the amazing opportunity that we have come into?
Well, like you said earlier, we've been shot down so many times before, and patience is not always my virtue, and we just kept waiting, and finally this came, and it couldn't have happened at a better time, and I just don't think that anything better is going to come along. I think that this is a blessing in so many ways. It's got so many amazing opportunities, and so many things can be done, and it can just help so many people in so many ways. I mean, it just has endless opportunities, and I don't even know what to say. It just came out of nowhere, and somebody somewhere was looking out and said, this is what needs to happen. Just like somebody was saying something to Tim, and saying, you need to share. You need to share. Well, then came along Tori and Steve. So, it just, everything falls into place when it's supposed to fall into place, and when the time is right. And the time is right for VICS Ranch right now.
Yeah. I completely agree. And, and we've had nothing but support from, her partner, Darren. He called me this morning, and he just called to say, I've been watching the videos. I'm a part of this, and I'm so proud of what you're doing. They're putting their money where their mouth is too, because they have contributed. They've contributed for when we've needed to pay for a program, or a buy something for what we need to build something, or whatever. They've contributed their time and their abilities, and Darren being making sure that our drinks are full while we're doing it. Love you, Darren. Everybody's got their part. But he makes sure that my fireball is filled, and he makes sure that Andrea's drink is filled, and his drink is filled, and that Steve's got bourbon. So, but we have all just have such a passion for what we want to do, and there isn't a selfish bone in Andrea's body, not a selfish bone in her body. I think what would you say your biggest flaw is?
Sometimes I care too much, and I get taken advantage of.
That's exactly what I was thinking there. I'm like, sometimes I have to stop her and say, whoa, are you sure that's what you should be doing for that person? Because I think they see I think they're looking in the dictionary and thought they saw your picture in the gullible section. So you need to step back. But that being said, it's still a great quality. That's why I wanted to ask that question. I was hoping she would answer it correctly. but that's why I asked that question, because at the same time, that's a huge asset, because you have to be willing to put yourself out there, because we are going to be putting ourselves out there for everyone. And it's not to say there aren't going to be some that try to come and take advantage. And just so people know, we will be having a vetting process. We will be having an application process, and there's going to be paid sides and not paid sides. So it depends on what they qualify for. That's why it's in our mission and our purpose that it says qualified. So they have to meet a qualification of some sort. They have to prove that they're a veteran or a first responder or a family member of, and because we can't be the one where we're people look up VICS Ranch and it says gullible company, gullible foundation. We don't want to be that, but we want to make sure that everyone out there that needs the hand and needs, and I mean our hand, like, a salute and a handshake, and let's come together and let's make beautiful music together if they want to learn music or pictures, or if they just really want to work with the animals, whatever can give them a new mission, a new passion, and um a new a direction on life where they don't feel like that hero to zero. If they already feel like they went from a hero to zero, we're going to bring them back to that hero status. And Andrea, I'm so happy. Steve has not said really hardly anything. He sits here and he just listens. This is generally the conversation when Andrea and I get together talking anyway. The boys both just listen to music and watch us. And we just and then we talk some serious smack sometimes. But that's why I'm just so pleased that when I presented this to you and asked you guys if you wanted to be a part of it, that there wasn't even a question. You said, absolutely. What do you want? What do you need? What are we going to do? And she, right into action, just like you would think a female Marine would do. And I, for one, I know that I appreciate your service, but I want to thank you for our service, your service on behalf of and everybody watching. And I know I saw that Sherry said that earlier, and I didn't throw it out there, but Sherry said thank you for your service, and I just wanted to throw that back out again one more time. Steve, you have anything to say to your work wife?
Number one,
they divorced when she left for Ohio.
Yeah. Well, of course, we're anxious for Andrea to be able to get down here firsthand, take a look at the property. Again, we know that 80 plus acres is a great start. It's a great location. We're really looking forward to her getting down here, helping us to lay this out, because there are certain areas that we're going to need. We're going to need areas for horses. We're going to need area for a kennel for dogs. We're going to need all types of different areas and stuff like that. So we got a long road ahead of us. We got a lot of work to do. But what I'm hopeful that people will see and understand is we're not just doing this on a wing and a prayer. We're not just sitting there saying, okay, well, we're going to do this. No, we're sitting there saying, okay, we want to go and bring animals in to help with therapy and get them trained and make sure that they're able to do what's needed. And same thing with any other animals that we bring in. And
except for the tigers and lions and bears.
Oh my. Anyways, the big thing is that we happen to have somebody that we're well acquainted with, that we trust implicitly, and has a similar passion for volunteering and for helping others. And her niche is just that, it's the animals. So we have that. Tori has a niche in art. She is an artist. The audio, video, all the work on that.
If only she could be a comedian, that would be even better.
No, we leave that to Lady Knockers. So, but anyways, Victoria has the audio and video and the editing portions of those, and how to do those, and do the, as you can see on our screen here, she quickly put together a little banner, and has the photo with Andrea and a flag background, and she just threw that together really quick, and stuff like that. So she has that piece where it's basically the graphics and stuff like that. I'm kind of a jack of all trades.
No, you're not. You're a firefighter at heart, and your career is in firefighting. I wouldn't call you a jack of all trades. You're just extremely talented and very smart, despite having to have stuck his head in a jar. He is still very smart.
Extremely smart. Extremely smart.
Well, I thank you both for that compliment.
Don't expect another one for at least a decade.
For a long time to come.
We're women. We don't throw those out easily.
I'm hoping to be able to go and throw in my abilities. I know Victoria's mentioned in the past, she owned a construction company and she did roofs and gutters, and was a major portion of what she did with houses and stuff like that. And at one point or another, I've done just about anything that there is to do with houses. The one thing is, neither of these other two, if it has something to do with household electric, yeah,
I run.
They don't touch it, but
I did one thing with electric one time and got thrown from a ladder, and because I got electrocuted, and the person on the other ladder at the other end, just so happened we both touched it at the exact same time, and we both got thrown from the ladder onto the grass below us, and we packed up our shit and left.
Yeah, exactly. I've done, construction work with, whether it's framing, electrical, plumbing, drywall, finish work, whatever. I've done a little bit of everything. If I remember correctly, Sherry also, her husband is electrician as well. So that gives us another individual that we can, reach out to help teach these others. Now, I'm not a journeyman electrician. I will never claim to be. I'm not a licensed contractor, but I have the knowledge of how all that works. So we will be reaching out, and we will be doing all these pieces by the numbers. We will be making sure that we have approved drawings and all that. So it looks like Rick is getting certified soon. So he will be a licensed contractor at that point. So we'll have the ability to make sure that we're not just teaching these veterans and first responders willy-nilly. We're not just going to throw them out there.
This is how you duct tape it together.
We're going to actually make sure that they're going to learn, and they're going to learn right, and they're going to learn by people who are qualified. And
if we're not, we will bring somebody
in who is qualified to make sure that they're getting it done right. So again, we're reaching out, and we're trying to make sure that we bring in individuals who, number one, care and want to help, and number two, have the ability to help and offer specialties to make sure that we're not just guessing at how something actually works. We want to make sure we're doing it right, and doing it right the first time.
Yeah, I totally agree. And sorry, I put that down because it's a tight little corner here where Steve and I are, and it's hard for him to get close enough to the mic so you can actually hear him. But we're just so pleased about where we're going with this. We've got 5 more minutes. And we're so pleased about where we're going with this. And again, Sherry, I want to thank you for all your hard work. And Rick, I know you guys are working hard on your side there, and they are so excited about what we're doing that they want to come out here and help. They want to be a part of it. We've had other people that have reached out that are volunteering to help with just right now some of the back work stuff, helping us with. I haven't had the TikToker send me a message saying I'll help you with your TikTok yet. But hey, we have 2 TikTok talks now. One that Sherry is going to manage, that's VICS Ranch News. And pretty much that one's going to be not as the fun stuff, but it's going to be where we're going to kind of keep a storage of quick, simple, updates of what's happening at VICS Ranch on there. Hopefully, Sherry will do a good job of making them fun or funny, or I will make them and send them to her, or we'll make Andrea or Steve or whatever, or Lady Knockers or something like that. But so we have VICS Ranch News on our TikTok, and we have VICS Ranch TikTok. So, and then of course, we will be probably adding those to a page or a group or whatever, VICS Ranch News, so that we can, and I don't mean news by, we're not going to be covering news. We're not going to be talking politics, or, because I talked to somebody the other day, and it's sad because I did have one donor that contacted me that was like, I went to your page and I see what your politics are. Are you still a Trump supporter? And we are not going to back any candidates. We are not going to, because that it's part of being a nonprofit. You have some guidelines there that we have to adhere to, but our personal private opinions and feelings are not part of it. And he may have been full of baloney in the first place. He may have just been talking smack, but he was like, well, I've got $10,000 I was going to loan you, but I see on your page you have stuff about Trump. And are you still a Trump supporter? I said, I am. VICS Ranch has nothing to do with politics.
No.
It's not, there's no political line when it comes to the ranch. I don't care what your race, sex, gender, or political opinion is when it comes to, and I don't want it to be a part of VICS Ranch. What you do on your personal page or your personal opinion, keep it there. But anything that has, if you put the words VICS Ranch behind it, it better not have anything political. And this guy literally said, well, that's it. You don't get my donation because of my personal politics. And I think that's sad. I think it's sad when people are going to throw that in, because veterans that are homeless or have PTSD or are suffering, some are transgender, some are gay, some are lesbians, some are just suffering from PTSD from a war or combat of any sort. And it doesn't matter what they are. It has zero to do with that. I will not turn one person away based on those criteria.
No, we can't.
So that being said, we got 2 minutes left. Andrea, I love you to death. I thank you so much for coming on the phone. We tried to get her on live, but she does. We'll have to get her a camera or something set up at her house so she can just push buttons. She's, when I say, and Steve says, she is all about the animals. The animals do not have any tech to them. They do not have an on button. So I wish they had an off button, but they don't have an off button. They don't have an on button. They don't have a power cord, and they don't have any technical experience needed to make function or whatever. And when it comes to Andrea, as smart as she is and as good as she is, if somebody else hasn't set up the tech for her, where she can push a button and say go, she looks at it like literally she just got taken by a spaceship to a different world, and she's looking up at these big green eyes and these just big giant head going, oh, what do I do?
That is so true. So true.
But we love you anyway, because you're going to do amazing things with the animals on the ranch. And Steve, I want to thank you for being here again. I appreciate you taking over and having a little conversation with Lady Knockers earlier. Remember to follow all of our stuff. Subscribe to our page. So, follow, like, subscribe everywhere. It is vicsranch.org for our website, and every one of our stuff on social media is VICS Ranch. Thanks so much. And I really love all of you being here. And thank you so much. Have a fabulous day. Thank you again. And goodbye. All right, Andrea.